because monarch butterflies, I was just in Singapore.
Yes.
And in the airport, there's a butterfly garden that they have.
In the airport?
Yes, in the airport.
I need to go.
Nick and I went there and literally just walked around with all these butterflies flying all around. And I wish that I could bottle that up and bring it home.
Agreed.
Well, now you can. Because here, what we have for you, this is called the Asclepias. Asclepias.
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
I tried to do it phonetically
It's
to see if I
fun.
could do it
Yeah,
right.
it's a tricky one.
Thankfully, Stephanie's here to help me out with all my pronunciations today, which is great. So Asclepias is going to attract monarch butterflies, and they're going to lay their eggs.
Correct.
And then you're going to get the caterpillars, which are going to create the cocoons. And then all of a sudden, you're going to have butterflies.
The monarchs. That's right.
That's incredible. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so this is by far the plant that I am most obsessed with, and I think it's the most important plant that my family and we bring. So the Asclepias is the only plant in the entire world that is the food source for the monarch butterfly caterpillar.
Wow.
Yeah, in the entire world. And unfortunately, due to farming practices and construction going up, the wild native Asclepias that they used to rely on eating, there's just not enough around anymore. So as a result, the population is now considered an endangered species. So the monarch population is decimated over the last 2 decades, like 95%.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty dire situation. But thanks to you at home, the gardeners who are starting to plant this in our containers, in our patios, our decks, even in the garden beds, you are doing your part literally in helping save the monarch butterflies.
And you're doing so at $24.98, which is an amazing price. You're getting 3 of these at home. So what we see in front of us, what is this stage of life here?
That's a great question. So this is a beautiful representation of our plants after the 2nd season. So these are a winter hardy perennial, which means that they are going to come back for you year after year, no matter where you live. These can take temperatures down to like -30.
Wow.
So Justin, this is the one plant that I will always say every garden in America should and can grow this, because not only are they beautiful, these are going to give you these beautiful pinks, oranges, and yellows in the garden, but then you are truly helping save the monarch butterfly population. This is the only solution to do that.
I already gave my fiance a warning that I was going to be buying most of what was in this show.
Excellent.
And Nick, if you're watching, this one's coming home, because as I look at this, I love how filling it is.
Yes.
And I feel like in our front yard, what we have in our patio is our little garden area. And it's full of perennials that are there.
I love that.
Because we just love the perennials. It's easy.
It's
you plant
easy.
it once.
Totally. And
then
forget
it comes
about
back.
it. Exactly.
This, though, we have one spot where we had annuals, and we already decided, no, we're going to put a perennial there.
Yeah.
This is perfect to have because it's going to be filling up that blank space.
That's absolutely right.
But what's the care? Does it need a lot of sun? Is it shade? How's that work?
That's a great question. So let me show you what it is you're actually getting at home, free of charge. So it's a 3-piece collection. Here, Justin and I have 2. Let me grab this 3rd one. So these plants, these are going to turn into what you're seeing here. This is probably after about the 2nd season. But that said, these plants are going to grow probably, about 1 foot to 1.5 foot this first year.
Wow.
But the most important thing is they love a lot of sun. So you want to make sure they get enough sun. And I would say actually the most important thing is that you're going to start seeing the monarchs right away.
Really?
Monarch butterflies have a special set of glasses, I swear, that they put on, and they are hungry. They are looking specifically for this plant. So that's the caterpillar. When you see the caterpillar on your plants, don't touch them. That's the whole point of the plant,
the reason
right?
for it, right?
Sometimes we get nervous when we see insects on our plants, but that's what we want, because then those caterpillars, once they get nice and full, they're going to turn into the beloved monarch butterfly. And this really is, this is the solution to saving the monarchs. There's no other plant that will do that.
I'm thinking of a couple different things. First of all, I'm thinking I can't wait to get this planted at my house. I'm absolutely going to be ordering this, and I'm looking of where I left my phone so that I can place my order for this. It's $8.33 on an easy payment, and as you think about that, Mary Beth Rowe, somebody who just retired here, I was texting her this morning, and she's watching her granddaughter this morning, or rather today. What an amazing plant to be able to have if you have grandkids that are coming over, to be able to make this kind of that science project where you can plant it together and then year after year after year, watch as those monarch butterflies come to it. Watch as the caterpillars turn into the butterfly. I think is something that's really kind of magical.
Absolutely.
And you're able to do that for $8.33 and free shipping and handling.
And you can do it this year and next year and every year thereafter, because these are such a long-lived perennial. And if I may, if you don't have kids or nieces and nephews, grandkids yet, my wife and I, we feel like kids when we grow this, truly. We'll go out in the morning. I live in San Diego when I'm not here. We'll go out with our cup of coffee in the morning. Last summer, we counted 85 caterpillars.
No way.
Yes, it was like the most important moment of my life. And then we had about 17 in the chrysalis all at one time around our front yard. So you're like walking around, and then I see them hanging underneath our fence or underneath the windowsill. And then eventually we're graced with the beauty of the monarch butterfly. And it really is one of the most special experiences to share with a loved one.
I know that I want these in the front of my house. I'm definitely going to want some in the back. They're good in the ground and in a planter, right?
Absolutely right, yes. So
okay, great.
Here you see them right in the garden bed with echinacea, some iris, so all, beautiful perennials. But if you've downsized, no problem. These will grow perfectly in containers like we have them here with us on set.
Great.
And that's what I mean. Everyone should and can grow these Asclepias.
It's M132051. Your easy payment today is $8.33, and it's coming to you on free shipping and handling. You're going to get the orange, yellow, and pink flowers. So one collection is going to give you everything that you saw right there. And what you saw on the table, that was about 2 seasons worth of what we were looking at. So you're going to see perennial. It's going to grow over and over and over again. Okay, up next here, if you are somebody who